Welcome back to Fathead TV. I'm your host, Cash Money, where we're bringing the new news, interviews, and more. And today, man, we got a good one. We got a verbal thrashing, man. My boy Anton Daniels and my boy Kev On Stage. Let's get into it, man. Look, Anton Daniels, man. Look, he just gave my boy Kev On Stage the worst verbal thrashing ever, man. He told my boy Kev On Stage, man, look, stop begging, get your weight up, and get your money up, man. Before I give my commentary, let's go ahead and watch that beautiful bean footage.
Kev On Stage. Now, the only time that I've ever covered Kev On Stage was when Kev On Stage wanted to cover and give his thoughts after Kevin Samuels passed away. Now, you guys know that me, Anton from AntonDaniels.com, decided that I wanted to get away from and I wanted to actually let Kev rest in power. I'm not even going to say rest in peace, rest in power. His family is in a great space. His mother, his daughter, and so we want to let them rest in peace and be able to have some kind of solace in the idea that Kev left this space in a better space than had he not been here. That's a fact, though. Right? And so there were a lot of content creators and haters of Kevin Samuels that then came out of the blue, and they wanted to give their thoughts on the misogynistic ways of Kevin Samuels and all this other type of stuff. And they have nothing. Most of them ain't have nothing to say when he was alive, but they had a lot to say when he left, right? So that was the only time, because, you know, we get to the money over here. And so getting to the money, if Kev On Stage ain't talking about nothing or it ain't coming back to the money, then it's nothing for us to cover. But he covered that. And so I took a little bit of my time because I was on a rampage at that time. And so I've stepped away from it. I took a little bit of time to address it and address some other people, including some pastors and preachers and Kev On Stage and Boyce Watkins and what's his name? Umar Johnson and all of those guys, right? But Kev On Stage has recently hit my radar as way of an email that somebody sent to me over the weekend that Kev On Stage said that it's a content recession out here.
Hey, you know what? I love the way how Anton Daniels buttered them up first, man. I love the way you butter these jokers up, man, before you go ahead, man, sop them up, man. Man, I love it, man. Love how you, just love it.
He said content creators are going through a recession. Apparently, I didn't get the memo. You know what I'm saying? Apparently, I didn't get the memo. He said content creators are going through a recession, and he was speaking to himself. The bag chasers didn't get the memo. So let's deep dive into it. I'm going to share with you what he said, and let's break it down. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. If you have not already, make sure you tap into the Patreon. The link is in the description, as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Let's get to it, y'all.
Yeah, I wanted to clear something up real quick. I realized I said this at length on Patreon, but I didn't address it in the public. So as you noticed, I've been promoting Patreon more and more, especially the last week or so. And I never really said why. So I'll just be upfront with you like I was with the Patreon yesterday. Podcast revenue has been down around 70% for me.
Let's stop there. I'm going to play the whole video, but I want to break this down frame by frame. He said basically revenue from content as far as they podcast and all of this stuff is down 70%. 70%. That's crazy.
It is.
I would say that podcast revenue for me is up 70%. Listen, he is not the first person that I've seen this from, but I see a lot of content creators that's saying that, revenue is down significantly. We down 70, 75, 80%. We not making no money no more. It's tight out here. Bag chasers. We don't want to brag. We don't want to talk about it. You know, I show my numbers. I'm not going to sit here and give you some mythical figures, 70, 80%. You seen what my numbers are. You see everybody eating over here. We hiring. We not laying off. If you used to work for Kev On Stage or what's my man name? The guy with the Coffee Hour podcast. What's his name? Graham Stephan. I know he laid off his editor. I know all of y'all going through layoffs or whatever like that. It's different over here though. So if you want to come over here to Death Row, come and holler at your boy. We ain't gonna be dancing all in your videos. I know it's tough for a lot of
Anton Knight around this thing, man. I see you. Anton Knight.
content creator. I'm not gonna say no names because I promised some people that I wouldn't I wouldn't come after them, or I wouldn't even mention them as long as they stayed and played their position.
That's cold.
It's a lot. It's some gnashing and some suffering at the teeth. I'm gonna give my thoughts in a minute, but he said that revenue was down 70% over at the Kev On Stage studios.
In all my podcasts, Josh, Angel, and Greg salaries are dependent on podcast revenue. And it used to be
not just throwing your people under the bus saying that they dependent on podcasts. Listen, don't talk about my salary.
Look, Kev, man, if anything, please don't name drop. You should name drop any one of your employees. You're talking about firing people, man. And then you name dropping the employees' names. Not a good look as a business owner, man. Please don't ever do that again. Please.
Listen, just give them a general idea. Don't be sitting there talking about, I'm about to be broke if we don't get our revenue up in order for you to continue to pay your people. We ain't never laid off over here at the Anton Daniels from Anton Daniels Media Studios over here. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue.
tremendously lucrative and I was able to pay them and all that type of stuff, but it's downturned tremendously. So instead of having to lay them off or reduce their salaries, I decided to give the Patreon audience and you an opportunity to help basically save their jobs. I'm not even,
Jesus.
put it plainly. In order to help keep them on payroll, I'm going to offer more stuff on Patreon.
Not begging for Patreon so you can save people jobs. Let me get a boom. Not begging on listen. Let me tell you, Patreon, the reason I have one of the biggest Patreons is not because we begging people to come to the Patreon. It's the value that people see that we bring to the people.
One thing, Anton, I always say, you got to bring value to the people. If the people don't deem your product is valuable, they're going to go somewhere else, man. So, man, look, Kev On Stage. Man, look, I don't know who you hiring or firing. Maybe you need to fire some people in marketing and finances because it's not looking good, dog.
It's not because of, listen, people roll with me because they see the value that they get as a result of rocking with me, because we meet up with the people, because we add value into their life, because we help them make more money, because we actually are pouring into them, and we are a community and a tribe of people. Listen, don't donate to me in order to make sure that I'm happy or that I can continue to save some jobs. That's not a good business model. And this is why I keep telling y'all, a lot of these people got lucky and they just so happen to be hot at the time that the internet was paying attention, but they didn't necessarily have the talent, the business acumen, the ability to continue to draw an audience and grow a platform. And they did it fast. But they didn't have the ability to be able to sustain it and grow it. And so what you're seeing now is not a downturn in content creation because it's up for the people that I know. What you're seeing play out now is the separation between the real and the fake.
Yep.
It's a separation between the real and the fake. Mm-hmm. The ones that actually is hitting and continuing to produce and win on the biggest level. I don't care if all of the NBA players decided to start a podcast. I don't care who streamed at the time that I stream. I don't care about what nobody else doing. I'm going to do what I'm going to do when I'm ready to compete on the highest level. I'm not worried about what anybody else is doing, because the separation between the ones that's great at what they do and the ones that have a great business acumen and know how to monetize their platforms effectively, it's going to separate. It's going to be a difference between the ones that know and the ones that don't. And so if you're not ready then you just gonna wash out. That's what's called capitalism. Capitalism ain't no different than every other platform. I was reading the comments in this video when he posted it. And the content in the comments was like, hey, y'all, we need to come together to save the platform. Oh, man, they should be worth more than this and all of this other stuff. No, you are worth whatever the value is that the market determines. Sometimes there's shows that go out of popularity or they go out of production because it's a bad show compared to when they first launched. American Idol is not the American Idol that when they first launched at the time that they launched because it's a different economy. It's a different space. People are in a different area and they want different things. They want more authentic content. They want a different type of thing. That's why these studios need to give me 30 million.
30 million.
I don't know what these people are talking about, yo. Listen, I'm so thankful that I was able to get the business lessons and then apply it to the content creation. And then I got better than them at content creation because not begging, you can't beg in order to, listen, it's not the people's responsibility in order for you to take care of the salary of the people that work for you. Everybody that worked for me got raises. Everybody that worked for me got raises. You can't tell people to increase their giving. What you do is you increase the value that you add to them. And then if they choose to continue to work with you because they can't go without the value that you add, that is the way that you start to continue to increase the people that patronize you.
Right.
If you can't hack it, if you can't cut it, then just say that. If your podcast ain't popping or you boring, then just say that. All businesses, look, in every other business in life, if it ain't working, then you got to do layoffs. If it ain't working, then you got to do layoffs. Do some cutbacks. You can start doing your own editing. Own editing. Maybe you need to get a different podcast or whatever, so on and so forth. But listen, if the restaurant not popping, then they got to lay people off. If the plan is not popping, then they got to lay people off. This is called capitalism. The people will go where they see the value or where they feel like they can continue. We got over 2,000 people in here watching live right now. We ain't even finished expanding over in the spaces that we supposed to be in. The people will go where they see the value. If you are not a value add, then you are going to be removed from the visibility of the people. Subscribers numbers, they don't mean any. Listen, I know people that got 1 million subscribers and can't throw a rock inside of the ocean, bro. They don't mean anything. If you can't translate that into something, listen, you can have 50,000 people watching, but if it doesn't translate into revenue, it doesn't mean anything
at all.
So if you dusty, just say you dusty. We with it. We with it. Listen.
Anton, my guy called you dusty, man. So if you dusty, say you dusty, man. Come on, man. Come on, son.
Listen, if y'all got so many people that is rolling with y'all, then you ain't got to worry about doing layoffs, right?
Right.
While we having a conversation, listen, they got all of these millions of followers on Instagram. They got all of these people that's watching them and it's in their live streams. Why they doing layoffs? Why they begging for the people to continue to hold them down? And they still doing layoffs? That's all I'm asking.
Because I would be able to pay people from whatever, and the app people could be paid from. But the podcast revenue dropping just threw a wrinkle in the plan, and it's been happening for well over a year for me. But the other stuff started dropping as well. And you, the viewer, will decide what you want to do and support. I leave that up to you. Again, I hate to even do this, but I don't know what else to do. I ain't got no other options.
Man, Anton Daniels, man, I love your take on it, man. Cause Kev On Stage, man, I think you find the wrong people, man. Man, look, man, I think you need to become a bag chaser your damn self, man. Look, Anton, man, look, Kev, here's some advice, man. Look, I think you need to message Anton Daniels, man. Say, Anton, look, man, I hired the wrong people, man. Look, I want to become a bag chaser myself, man. Give me your Patreon and let me go ahead and support you on your channel so I can get my channel back to rocking, podcasts and everything, man. Because Anton Daniels, man, My guy Kev On Stage. Man, that man looking like, man, what's that white boy, little white boy, Oliver Twist, man? You out there, man, begging like, man, can I get some more? Please, sir. Can I get some more? Man, they got you begging like a $2 hoe, man. Man, they got you begging like a pastor for special offering at church, man. Man, come on, Kev, man. It's not looking good, man. You got 1.5 million and you can't turn that 1.5 million to a profit for your company? Man, come on, man. You like the water folk on the side of the street, man. Go ahead, hold your sign up too, man. Man, come on, Kev, man. Man, you better than that, man. But look, anyway, man. Anton, man, love your take on everything, man. Look, people, man, make sure y'all go watch that full video on AntonDaniels.com and Anton Daniels on YouTube, man. My guy has great commentary, man. And go subscribe to his channel too, man. Yo, subscribe to my junk too, man. Subscribe to mine too, man. But yeah, yo, Kev On Stage, do better, son. Come on, son. Get the fuck out of here with that, man. Come on, son. Come on. But anyway, man, this is Cash Money, and we out.